It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Open. Chicago with the lead. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20. Breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40 midfield. 40 30 to the coast. 20 15 Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Vicky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I'm your Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, then I guess you found us on Facebook. If you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, man. Listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button. It's free, so don't trip. Click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell right next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. You get it? You got it? Good. Now, if it's on our mobile app, oh, let me do that. I almost forgot something there. Watch this on our mobile app. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Please don't know we had a mobile app. Come on now. Here's what you do. Wherever you get your apps, it doesn't matter where you get your apps from. Just go there, type in Sports Zone Chicago, download it. You can take this with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles thanks to my man Clarence, Council of the Third. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on a Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. Listen, if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Do us a solid, yeah? Download Sports Zone Chicago's tile to your television. Download the channel right to the TV. Put it there next to Netflix, HBO Max. We can watch the Bears. We get delayed for Hard Knocks. Disney Plus, Prime, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Stars. Oh, Stars. That's right. We got about 2-3 weeks before the final season of Book 2 from Power comes on. But I digress. Sorry. Just put it down, download it, put it there next to all the big boys. You can watch it on the big screen. Hell, run a big screen, right? Mickey, Vicky, now. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle as the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Kai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. If you want to follow Instagram because you're an IGer and you do it just for the gram, we'll just follow her at Maya_Kai. It's MAYA_AKAI. We got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in a thread. We'll put it up on the screen, incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. That's you, baby. So bring them all. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. And like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's see who we got in the chat. The chat is jumping already. Holy cow. Cornelius Squall's first man up. What up? What up to all my sports owners? That's what I'm talking about. Levette Lee, she's in the house. Good morning, Mama. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Patty Lotta. Yeah, happy Mickey Ficky Friday, baby. I'm telling you. Whoo-wee. Oh. Jeremiah says hi to Theo Shaw. Jeremiah. Good morning, mijo. I will see you guys. I will see you soon. I can't wait to see you. Give you a big hug and a kiss. My man, Armando Emeterio, Lara Jr., my man, Junior's in the house. What's up, Papa? Thanks, brother. I appreciate you tuning in. Mr. Shorty, top of the morning to you, sir. Top of the morning. Did I say hi to Levette Lee? Yes, I did. I did say hi to Levette Lee. Hello again, Levette Lee. Man, you got two hellos. Yeah. Let's see what else. Who else? Oh, Michelle Wall's in the house. What's up? And Mickey Ficky, TGIF, man. I'm telling you, this week could not be over soon enough. Let me tell you. Plank is in the house. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Yeah, this weekend, man, Juke, is it Juku? Off the dub. Jay off the dub is in the house. Good morning, man. Get house Super Bowl bound. I don't know about that, but I feel you. I feel you. Because Shorty says Caleb Williams is going to be the first rookie quarterback to take a team to the Super Bowl. That's what Mr. Shorty says. So we'll see. Listen, I don't know a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. That I can promise you. Is it pronounced Juku? Yeah, let me. Shorty's been on it. He's been adamant about it. He hasn't backed off one iota. He said Caleb Williams is going to take this Bears team to the Super Bowl. Going to win the Super Bowl. Okay. Off the dub says, what up? Can't wait till tomorrow to catch another glimpse of our future. Yeah, I hope so. I hope they play a whole half. I doubt they'll play a whole half, and at least give me a quarter, something. You know, something. Give me something. I'm saying. Oh, Shorty's got the score already. Bears 33-28 over the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So, Shorty, what you're saying is next week, Super Bowl preview. Is that what you're saying? The Bears head to the Red Kingdom. So next week is a preview for this upcoming Super Bowl. That's what you're saying, huh? Okay. Oh, I should probably turn my phone on silent. There you go. Shorty says, indeed. Well, it's a possibility. I don't think it's very likely, but it is a possibility. It is a possibility. Plank, how you doing, buddy? I know you're a bit under the weather, and so we just want to check in on you and see how you're doing. Okay, you said you're feeling much better. Good. All right. Glad you're feeling better. Awesome. So yeah, this was a long week, man. Plank, what are you doing? What are you doing? D has no less than 2 shutouts. So minimum 2 shutouts this year. Oh, I can go with that. That's nothing big. That's nothing big. Not this defense. Yeah, I'm calling it now. This D has no less than so minimum 2. Okay. Yeah, I'm yeah. If you want to get crazy, say 3. Say 3 or 4. Now you're getting crazy there, Plank. Now that's a bold take. 3 or 4 shutouts. But yeah, I think the D has 2 shutouts. I do. I think they're Yeah, they're the real deal. Man, we got a lot to talk about. My goodness gracious, great balls of fire for all my people. It's Flashback Friday. Some of you know who these guys are. I know Junior does. These are my boys. Chicago's very own. The Road Warriors. Mr. Laurinaitis. I don't know what Hawk's real name was. But Laurinaitis is Animal. Remember, if you guys don't realize, James Laurinaitis went to Ohio State, ended up playing for was it the Lions? No, the Rams. The Rams. That's Animal's son. Animal's son was went to Ohio State and played for the Rams for a while. James Laurinaitis. So, just a little bit of history for those of you who don't know. All right, the Road Warriors. I'm Hawk. I'm Animal. That's right. They had their own little song. Oh man. But man, we got a great show for you. We have a lot. When I say a lot, we have a lot to talk. All right, we got to talk the Sky. The Sky played yesterday, back off their break, the All-Star / Olympic break. So what, 4 weeks, 5 weeks they were off. And that sure looks like they were like it was their first game back. 3 of the players on the Phoenix Mercury were playing in the Olympics, so they had no rest, and they looked like they were in mid-season form, which technically they were, but they hadn't stopped playing. Okay. Thank you, Junior. Mike Hegstrom is Hawk. Hegstrom. Okay. Is it Paul Laurinaitis? What was Hawk's Animal's first name? I know, obviously, we know it was Laurinaitis, but what was Hawk's or Animal's first name? Was it James or Paul? I don't know what. But anyway, I know you'll check it out and get back to me. So we talk about the Sky. I'm going to talk about the Cubs. Got some baseball talk. The Cubs. They keep messing with you guys. Joe Laurinaitis. Okay. They keep messing with you guys. They come and just when you think they're going to make a run, they get swept. It's like they have to go 8-2 in the next 10 games. Minimum. 9-1 would probably be better, but hey, 10-0 obviously would be the best. But to even be considered, I mean, they're getting close to the magic number where they're going to be eliminated from playoff contention. So we're going to talk Cubs. We're going to talk White Sox. What do they do? You know, what do the Sox do? What do they decide to do? You know, it's a situation where, what are you doing? You know, it has been so frustrating, so infuriating, you know, with what our owner has done to this team and made us not give a damn about it. You know, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And, you know, I can't. No, sorry. I was Steve-O, check the chat, check the private chat real quick. There you go. Sorry, edit. Yeah, Michelle, the Sox did not lose yesterday, so we're going to talk Sox. We're going to talk Cubs. We're going to talk Sky. We got Bulls talk. What? Bulls talk. Yes, the schedule was released yesterday, so we're going to talk Bulls. Check out some key matchups for them this season. When's Zamara coming back? When's Alex Caruso coming back? When do they start? Who do they play on Christmas? Are they playing on Christmas? We're going to find out. We got some Bulls to talk. Then, of course, we got some Bears to talk. Woo, Charlie, joint practice yesterday with the Cincinnati Bengals. It was a little rough for the Bengals. I felt bad. But, hey, you know, injuries happen all the time. It could have happened week one. It could have happened next. It could have happened Saturday. It could have happened the following Saturday. It could have happened the week opener. You know what's really frustrating? Imagine if you're the Jets, and imagine their season last year. Like that takes, and let me tell you something. I can relate to that. I can relate to that. Second hand, I was coaching. I was a curious 2011. 20 just went to the Prep Bowl. And our quarterback was also our free safety. We had a machine. We had him as a quarterback. Our running back was 6'1", 225, ran like a 4.6. We had a stud wide receiver in Jabril Jackson. Our running back was Cavante McIntyre. Reese was our quarterback. Maurice Fleming is his actual name. Jabril Jackson. We had a squad coming back for 2011. And second game of the year against Sterling at Lane Tech, our quarterback tears his ACL. I mean, you talk about having a Ferrari and no one to drive it. We tried every combination we could at quarterback. We tried to have a stud wide receiver play quarterback, but then he couldn't throw himself the ball. We tried to run the ball a lot more, but we still needed to pass, and the quarterback couldn't throw himself the ball. Yeah, it was. So I get it. I get how the Jets felt last year. But this is a collision sport, and things are going to happen. So, again, that's one reason I'm like, play him. Play him. If he's going to get hurt now, he's going to get hurt now. It doesn't matter. I don't want to go into a season without some chemistry, without some familiarity, without also running on all cylinders. But that's me. So yeah, I believe me, I felt it when it happened last year to them. But that's why I want the Bears to play. Bump it, play it. All right, there's things you can do to mitigate him getting hit. Not so many 5 or 7 step drops. Just yeah. So we got Bears to talk. All right, I feel bad for the young man, running back, but again, it's nature of the beast. All right, they host the Cincinnati Bengals tomorrow. Up at Soldier Field. Another step forward. How many plays are the starters going to get? I don't know. Cincinnati has already said they're not playing their starters. Good. That has no bearing on us. I'm glad it doesn't have any bearing on us. I'm glad that the powers that be didn't say, well, they're not playing theirs, so we won't play ours. No, we need reps. You already lost. You wasted a whole game in the Hall of Fame game. The running back for the Cincinnati Bengals is the person, Shorty. I'll tell you. Oh, I can't remember his name. I'm looking for it. Yeah, but no, he's gone. He's gone. So I felt bad for him. I can't remember the young man's name. So, but it's okay. It wasn't one of our players, and I hate to be that cold and callous. And I do. I feel sorry for the guy, but hey. Yeah, Junior was telling me this, but Joe Burrow looks like the killer monk from the Da Vinci Code. Oh, man. Yeah, that was funny. That was real funny. I said I Googled it, the GIF, and I put it in our thread. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, Bears talk, and I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot. All right, we'll continue to talk a little bit about the Hard Knocks episode. And then we'll talk about what to expect tomorrow. What are you looking for tomorrow? Because I want to see certain things. I want to see things run smooth. I want to see things get better. I want to see things progress. I want to see the confidence improve. I think the confidence is improving, especially with the practice yesterday. And the Bears had a good practice, and there was actually a goodness, who was that? Okay, I know who it was. There was a guy from Fox 19 in Cincinnati. We'll talk about that. I'll probably look it up, and play that because. Man, that was what he said was quite interesting. Quite interesting. And I was like, whoa, okay. And this was after the practice yesterday and what he thought. And he was very blunt, very honest. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm glad you saw it the way I saw it, but yeah, it was good. So listen, we're going to take a quick break. All right, on the other side of the break, all right, we're going to hit some top of the morning topics. All right, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds. help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Ed Oliver out of the blue medical tent on the Buffaloes sideline. He'll stay there for this 1st down and 10 play. Pressure coming. Williams flicks one and completes it to Swift into Buffalo territory. And he's tripped up around the 20-yard line. And his kick is good.
Less contact than he did throwing the football.
Pitches to Herbert, running left, turns the corner, and another Chicago 1st down. On the Bills Wall of Fame, Steve Tasker. Williams, play action, fakes it. Smoot doesn't buy the fake this time, but Williams connects. What a throw by Caleb Williams. Play clock at 1. Williams takes the snap out of the shotgun, steps up, he's going to run it. Williams off to the races. 1st down and more. And as he learned.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox. Those are the Bears, baby. The Bears. The Bears. Yeah. So, guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Let's see the first top of the morning topic. Yeah, let's go there. Chicago Sky. Unfortunately, the Chicago Sky fell. The Mercury was too hot. They fall to the Phoenix Mercury 85-65. Angel Reese, 11 points, 15 boards. Dana Evans contributed 14. Camila Cardoso, 10 points, 5 rebounds. Listen, they had 3 Olympians on that team. Clea Copper, former Chicago Sky. Gianna Taurasi, 42-year-old person who really shouldn't have been on the Olympic team. And Brittany Griner. The very controversial Brittany Griner. And they look like they haven't stopped playing since the break. All right, they came out and it was an onslaught from the beginning. From the beginning, they were down. I think the largest deficit was 27, almost 30. Might have been 30 at one point. It was tough. It was tough. The Sky, they were just overwhelmed, overmatched. I mean, Phoenix is only at 6. It's not like they're one of the best teams in the WNBA. But again, 3 of their stars were playing overseas. They were playing in the Olympics. They never stopped playing. Oh man, that was a rough one. That was a rough one. But no rest for the weary. The season goes on. All right, tomorrow, the next top of the morning topic tomorrow, the Sky. Okay. They're back in action mañana. They take on the Sparks in the City of Angels out on the left coast. Tip-off is at 4 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on the U. Hopefully they come out a little more prepared, a little more inspired. Because the way they came out yesterday, that was not nice. I mean, LA is 6-19. I mean, we're 10-15, so it's two teams that are both under 500, and we need to, as a Chicagoan, but we have to win this game. And I hope they get their bearings about them. I hope Teresa Witherspoon has kind of talked to them about this. Like they're in no position whatsoever. No position to take anything lightly. None. All right. Them being flat was just a lack of focus. You're off for 5 weeks, 6 weeks. What you should have done, and I don't know if they did this or not. They should have been back probably a week before. Yeah, probably a week before. And get your ass back in the gym. If you can have legal practices at practice, if not, some of the captains can orchestrate a practice with the team. But they need to get that and the rust off that they had yesterday, and there was a lot of rust. There's a lot of rust. It was an embarrassing situation. I said they're down almost 30. It might have been 30 at one point. I don't know, but I know it was 27 at one point. And I think just the youth, and the whole, they had time off. And I don't know how they handled it, but man, these girls weren't ready. These young ladies were not ready yesterday. And it's unfortunate because they have a lot of talent. And don't forget, they had a trade. Marina Mabry was gone. All right, they brought in some new pieces, and those ladies had to gel with the new, with their new team. And it's not easy. It's not easy. It was. Also their leading scorer, Kennedy Carter, she was out as well. All right, she had the flu-like symptoms. And Kennedy Carter had some flu-like symptoms, and she tested negative for COVID, which is good. And it's unsure whether or not she's going to travel to L.A. Because they're playing L.A. Saturday, and they're playing Phoenix. No. Teenagers played yesterday. They're facing them again. It's quick. Oh, Saturday, Sunday, it's back-to-back. So Saturday, they're in L.A., and Sunday, they're in Phoenix. Okay. So, and then again, you got to get used to these new, the new additions to the team. Who Rachel Banham. She's a 3-point specialist, and unfortunately, she didn't shoot very well. The team, we shot the Sky shot 21.1% from 3-point land. That's not going to get it done. And let me tell you, the Mercury, pun intended, they were on fire. They're on fire from beyond the arc. What were they shooting? 20. They were 12 of 23, over 50% from 3-point land for the Mercury. It's tough. That's tough. You can't win that way. It's going to be difficult to beat a team when they're shooting 50%, over 50% from beyond the arc, and you're shooting 21%. Not a good recipe for a win. So, anyway, good luck to the ladies tomorrow and Saturday. I'm sorry, tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow they're in LA playing the Sparks. Sunday they're facing the same Mercury that we faced yesterday, but now they're only in Phoenix. The next top of the morning topic, the Cubs. All right, all you Cub fans, get all excited. I'm about to talk Cubs for a second. I know you get all excited about when I talk about your team. The Cubs host a weekend set against the Toronto Blue Jays. Intra-league series. Starting today, first pitch is at 1:20 p.m. You can catch that game on Apple TV Plus, not on Marquee, Apple TV Plus. Or you can listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. Probables for the game, Yariel Rodriguez is on the bump for the Jays. He's 1-5 with a 3.60 ERA. He's going up against the Professor, who's having his struggles big time. He's 3-10 with a 6.60 ERA. That's what it looks like today. Up on the north side, the friendly confines. So I would suggest it's going to be a beautiful day. Beautiful day for some baseball. Beautiful. It's going to be a high of 85 degrees today, according to Cheryl Scott. 86. Ooh, my bad. High of 86. Late storms, so they should be able to get the game in. Tomorrow's going to be 80. Stray showers. Hope it doesn't affect the Bears game. But anyway, today, high of 85, 86. Beautiful day to catch some baseball. Beautiful day. Keeping it moving. The other top of the morning topic. The White Sox, baby. The White Sox travel to H-Town for a weekend set with the Astros. First pitch tonight is at 7:10 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on NBC Sports Chicago or listen to their flagship station, 670 a.m. Garrett Crochet is on the bump for the Southsiders. He's 6-9 with a 3.65 ERA going up against Spencer Arrighetti, who's 5-10 with a 5.14 ERA. Are they going to continue to shorten his innings and have him pitch 3 innings, 4 innings? I don't want that. Stop worrying about him getting injured and let him play. Because here's the thing. He's got to command a nice return. That's a given. I know the Sox are saying we don't want him hurt so we can get enough. What's the worst thing that happens? He gets hurt, he comes back to pitch for you guys again? Oh, my God, that's horrible. Horrible. What he can do, if you're going to move him this offseason, he can continue to eat. He can continue to blow people away. People say, man, you might be able to ask more for him in the offseason. But you're not thinking like that. You just want to get rid of him, which I don't understand. Like, stop dealing with all these prospects. And you want prospects. Look what you did. What happened last time. You had all these prospects. Yohan Moncada, the number 1 minor league prospect in baseball. Eloy Jimenez was touted even a better prospect. Luis Robert, 5-tool player. And what happened? You didn't get the right manager. You didn't choose the right manager. You wanted to be power hungry, keep the status quo, and get a rookie manager. Oh, by the way, you said basically you're going to do the same thing again. You're going to do the same thing again. I don't get it. You claim you want to win, but you're going back to a formula that has shown it is horrible, extremely inefficient, just out and out bad. So you want another rookie manager with a rebuild? Really? You don't want a veteran, established guy to kind of whip these guys into shape. A guy who has the pedigree, a guy maybe who's won a World Series. You've had the opportunity to hire World Series managers, and you didn't. That's a scathing indictment of your organization, period. You say, "Oh well, we want to get back to the World Series. You want this?" No, you don't. Stop freaking lying to us. Don't think for a minute we believe you. Because if you wanted to get back to the World Series, you hire the best manager. You get the best players. You develop them, which is still a huge question mark. But you lead the team with your manager. He leads that team. And how can you ask a guy to take you there who's never been there before? I'm not saying it hasn't happened, of course. But with rookies, youngsters, you want another puppet manager? Do you think you're that freaking smart, Chris Getz, where you can make all the decisions on the field from the GM office? You just don't want to give up any of your power? Because it's so important. Look where that's gotten you. Look where it's got Rick Hahn. Look where it's going getting you. And I know you didn't pick this manager. So hire your first manager. That's going to say a lot about you. And then you went on the record saying, "Oh, you're going to get a guy who was in uniform this season to be your manager." So you're going to go get another bench coach, guy who probably hasn't managed before. Hopefully you do go get a guy that's managed before. Hopefully. The lies you tell us and expect us to believe are insane. It's literally, you're going to look me in the eye, piss on my shoes, and tell me it's raining and expect me to believe it. Expect Sox fans to believe it. Yeah, general manager wants to control a rookie manager again. Again. That's the key word. Again. Yeah, I know you feel it, man, because damn, that's my favorite baseball team. Man, we used to go to Comiskey Park all the time. Walk over to either take the California Street bus to 35th and take the bus over, or walk to Western, take the bus to 35th, stop at Billy D's house for a little bit, and then take the bus over on 35th. Go there all the time as a kid and then in high school. Grew up watching them. So I'm passionate about it. And here's the thing. Ask a guy who's played on many championship teams, a guy who's had great coaches throughout my football career, and coaching some championship teams. I see and I know what's necessary, and I've said this 1,000,001 times, and I'll say it 1,000,000 particular point now. All right, because coaching matters. Coaching matters. Get guys who are, when we talk about the Bears. What is the one thing I'm saying about Austin Booker? Remember I said, whenever you go up a level, from high school, from grammar school to high school to college to the pros, if you're fortunate to have a good teacher in the beginning of your journey at that next level, that will take you a long way. If that coach leaves, those good habits aren't going anywhere. As opposed if you're taught, or if you're not managed or coached or developed, when you get to the next level, you're stuck. And you're going to go back to what got you to that level. You're going to go back to the things that got you there. Not the things that you can't teach yourself how to make yourself excel at that level. Big difference. So you want to put a rookie manager, a first-time play caller, first-time guy behind the bench, on the bench, as your manager with these youngsters? These guys are a team, just like hell. 4 years ago? That Tim Anderson, Jose Abreu, Yoel Moncada, Eloy, Lubbob, all those guys 4 years ago, they were in a situation, they're in a state where they could have been molded. And you hire Ozzie, you hire Bruce Bochy, you hire Joe Girardi, you hire a World Series winning manager and put with that team, it's a different outcome. It's a different outcome because they know baseball. You, Chris Getz, despite the fact that you played, doesn't seem like you do. Because if you're going to do this nonsense again, after you saw how it didn't work with Rick Hahn, you saw how this didn't work, but you're going to do the same shit anyway? That's the thing. If you don't learn from history, you repeat it. So now we're going to go get a whole bunch more prospects. And I was telling Ken, by the way, I spent the other day, I was very fortunate. We finally got to meet out. I hung out with Ken, me, Ken, Jason at the Sox game on Wednesday. Great day. Notice there's a buffer seat between me and Ken, a buffer seat between Ken and Jason, just so you know. There was no one in our row. That was awesome. There was nobody in our row. So we got to spread out. But I was telling him, I said, we got some nice arms. Because Ken's checked out. He goes, I haven't even watched them. I was like, no, I hear you. I get it. We have some nice arms. We have some nice young arms in that rotation. Who's the starting pitcher on Wednesday? He went 5 innings. I think he went 5 innings, 1 run. He was dealing before the shit hit the fan. And we lost 10-2. It was 1-1. Or it was 2-1. No, 1-1. It was 1-1. It was 1-0 for a while, and then it was 1-0 Yankees, and we tied it with another homer because Soto hit a homer. His top of the first, excuse me. Gavin Sheets hit a homer in the third. It was 1-1. It was a pitcher's duel. And he took him out. The Yankees attacked. But you had the opportunity to see how this shit fails. It fails. Like this is what doesn't get me. Like you can't see it. You can't tell by the Sox fans' anger. I can't understand it. I can't understand why you don't get a veteran, seasoned manager to come in here, whip these rookies, these youngsters into shape so they play baseball the right way and they can win some games. See, you got me fired up already. You got me fired up. The Bulls schedule. Bulls schedule was released yesterday. They open October 23rd at the New Orleans Pelicans down in Nolens. The French Quarter. Season opener 2 days later at the United Center. Alex Caruso comes back with Oklahoma City Thunder. No, they play on Wednesday opener and then Saturday. So 3 days later. The DeRusso, the DeRusso. I said Caruso and DeRozan combined. The Caruso Revenge Tour, and I don't think it's a revenge tour. He's a veteran. But he returns for the home opener on October 26th. January 12th, DeMar DeRozan makes his return to the West Side. You know, DeMar DeRozan, his whole time here, he was nothing but professional. Nothing but professional. He wanted to stay here. He liked the city. His family loved the city. I would have liked to have seen him stay, but that doesn't go along with what they said they wanted to do. You want to get younger, more athletic. I mean, you could have continued to trot him out there, but it slows the ball down when it slows the flow of the game down when he has the ball, because he's ball dominant. He's going to go get to a spot. He's going to dribble, get to a spot, rise up and shoot. And don't get me wrong, he doesn't have a problem passing, but that's his game. Get him to the mid-range. 14, 18 feet, anywhere in there. That's his shit right there. But it's ball dominant. It's dribble. Although he did change when he got back from being held, him and Zach were hurt. I mean, we will see. Well, actually, we won't see because he's gone. He got some stuff for him. But DeMar DeRozan comes back. And I'll tell you what, the United States is going to go nuts. The United States is going to go crazy when DeMar DeRozan comes back. Because he's a guy that this fan base adored, respected, and thoroughly enjoyed watching. It's January 12th. Get yourself get some tickets to that game versus the Kings. It's a Sunday, 2:30. Go out, get the tour from the floor up on Saturday on the 11th, and go see Oklahoma City and Alex Caruso at 2:30. Excuse me. Man. I'm excited for bowl season. I want to see how well they do. I want to see how well these new additions do. Brandon Shutt's in the house. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. Did you hear anything about the fight in the practice? No, I didn't. I didn't hear anything about a fight there. The NFL sent out an email last week, or was it this week, about they're going to start cracking down on fights in practice. So there was a fight in the Chiefs somebody practice. I don't know. Each team got fined $200,000. Each team got fined $200,000 because their players were in a scrap. I'm the organization. I'm mad as all get out. And not that you can't absorb $200,000. Come on. You wouldn't get to $1 billion if, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be a billionaire if you couldn't absorb that type of hit. It's the principle of it. It's the principle of it. I forgot what two teams were writing. And the NFL was like, nope. We are going to hit you in the pocketbooks. Anyway, hit you in the pocketbooks, and they're trying to cut back on that because they want teams to practice. Because if you're not going to have this many preseason games, you're going to want to get a lot of work against other people. So if you can practice with a team before you play them, I guess owners are happy. Remember, all this is collectively bargained. This is not something that the owners are making the players do. This is collectively bargained. They chose for this. They chose this. So, well, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk a little Bulls basketball, and then we're going to the big guns. Our Bulls, baby. I'm fired up. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the Chicago Bears. Those yesterday. Yeah, hold on, cancel. Yeah. I was excited for what I heard. First of all, I was a little annoyed because my credentials got rejected yesterday. I was a little annoyed. Like, oh no, we're sorry. Here's the funny thing. Here's what. Let me read it to you. I thought it was. To me, in wording is everything. All right. To me, wording is everything. Words are extremely, extremely powerful. Okay. And here, They're extremely powerful. I'm not going to say who the person is. Thank you for your interest in covering the Chicago Bears training camp. At this time, unable to accommodate your request. What do you mean you're unable to accommodate? We're outside. We're outside. I was annoyed. I get it. It's just the way they put it. That's pretty much it. The way they put it, you know. And I was a little annoyed. Okay, a lot annoyed. A lot annoyed. But ni modo, eh? You know, yesterday's to talk about. We got a guy who's going to hop on with me in a minute. Yesterday's practice looked good. And here's what I was telling you about. All right. There was a guy. They got a guy. No, there was a guy. All right. From Jeremy Roach. All right. Jeremy Roach from Fox 19. Excuse me. Fox 19 in this is his own. Let me do this because I gotta. Oh goodness! Because I gotta give him credit. Because if not, then people are gonna. You got to give everyone credit. If someone posts it or something, you got it. So, peep this. All right. Here's what he had to say.
Hey everyone, thought today's practice needed some context. I know there's a lot of concern from some fans back in Cincinnati, kind of seeing the tweets of everything that played out today in practice for the Bengals. My one big takeaway from practice today is probably an obvious one, but I felt like some context was needed. So I'll just throw this out there. Today was the first day that it really looked like, my goodness, Joe Burrow needs Ja'Marr Chase. Certainly played in a drive in a preseason game, and it looked good. And T. Higgins had a touchdown, and all seemed well. Today in the rain, when Joe Burrow was trying to find a target, he was locked in on T. Higgins more often than not. And a couple of times when he wasn't thrown to T. Higgins, the ball was tipped, it was overthrown, it was behind a receiver, he had 3 interceptions. It just looked like Joe Burrow wasn't comfortable. Again, the rain played a big factor in that, but you're reminded of his receiving core. Even though there's growth from guys like Andre Yosevich and others in the mix as well, and running backs who can catch, and Mike Gesicki, and all these exciting things we've talked about in camp that are good things for this offense, this offense does not go without Ja'Marr Chase on the field, especially against the Chicago defense, who I thought was pretty darn impressive. So that's a big takeaway from today's practice. It's all probably going to be okay if and when Ja'Marr Chase has come back. Ja'Marr Chase comes back and practices and plays, and we expect that. But a stark reminder today of what it looked like without Ja'Marr Chase. As for the defense, and I'm guessing there's no Bears fans on here, I could not have been more impressed with how Caleb Williams looked. And you look at his receiving core, and you're reminded of who they could be this year with Rome Odunze, the rookie, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. Keenan Allen and DJ Moore gave the Bengals DBs trouble all day long. It doesn't have to be an indictment on the Bengals defense or some kind of glowing statement about the Bears offense. It just, to me, looked like the Bears offense was better than the Bengals defense. In a lot of ways, now the Bengals defense wasn't able to slow them down with what they wanted to do. So 2 big takeaways. Felt like the Bears won the day. No need to panic. Just some things that I think needed some context.
That video courtesy of Jeremy Roach from Fox 19 in Cincinnati. Bears won the day. Bears won the day. You know, So it's good to hear. It's great to hear. But it's just a day. Okay. But what it's telling me is that this defense, remember when I said this defense has to come out with an attitude? They have to come out with a swag. They got to come out feeling we are going to shut you down, whoever the freak you are. And that sounds like it's what they did. Sounds like it's what they did. Man, Black Diamond's in the house. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for coming on board. This was great to hear. So this is not okay. So all the people who were like all the Caleb people, all right, the pro Caleb people, all right, should be happy. Should be really, really, really happy. This is coming from a guy from someone not here. Someone not here who's all on Caleb's junk and Caleb's, deserves to be. He needs a gold jacket. Should have given him one after. Right, the hyperbole that's surrounding this kid from the local media is quite sickening and annoying. But you're getting this info from a guy from an opposing market's point of view. They look good, and remember I said this. Hold the hyperbole, but it doesn't mean that Caleb's not going to be good. It doesn't mean Caleb's not going to be great. Doesn't mean that at all. Let's just see. But you got some reinforcements from some guy who doesn't have a dog in the fight. He's not worried about trying to impress people, trying to get clicks. All right. He's talking to Cincinnati fans and basically saying, well, if the Chicago, there's no Chicago people, I knew it was going to get the Chicago people. I said they won today. Cornelius, you're damn right. What a difference a real OC makes. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, he only had T. Higgins. He didn't have Jamar Chase. That was a big thing. But still, hey, you know what? I do not feel when people, and he didn't have Jamar Chase. Yeah, right. You know what? I don't give a rat's ass. Because no one's going to give a damn about us if some of our guys are injured. If DJ Moore goes down, or Keenan Allen goes down, or hell, if Caleb goes down, you think people are going to take it easy and say, oh, well, he's injured. No one's going to give a shit about us. So too damn bad. Too damn bad he couldn't play. I wish him a speedy recovery, but you got other guys. You got other guys that get paid. You got other guys that get paid. Anyway, I digress. But that was good to hear. You know what? I'm still Team Justin. I love Justin. All right. I moved on though, and Caleb's our guy, and we have to support him. I want Caleb to do well. I told you, if Caleb does well, guess what? Our Chicago Bears do well. And it's nice to see somebody who's staying away from the hyperbole of, oh my God, Caleb's this, Caleb's that, Caleb's the world. Okay. He said Caleb looked good. Chicago won the day. That's all I want. Give me that. Chicago won the day. He looked good. He's got a lot of weapons. Perfect. Don't tell me he's going to Canton. Don't tell me he's the best quarterback to ever play the game. Come on. We have quarterback PTSD here. How many quarterbacks have we seen that, he's going to be the best. He's going to be this. He's going to rewrite all these records. He's going to do this. It started with Jay Cutler. My guy, Cuddy. Cuddy didn't even break the single season passing record. And he had Alshon Jeffrey, Martellus Bennett, Brandon Marshall, and Matt Forte. So let's just relax. How about this? We roll who we got. That's what you got to do. That's what's great about football. Next man up. So let's just take it easy. Because I like Caleb's approach. He's like, when they talked to him, it was who was he talking to? I can't remember. But he said, I'm not here to wow you. I'm here to win games. And when I had his head coach on, my good friend Randy Trivers, Randy said, and remember, the question I asked Randy was like, how's Caleb going to act? How's he going to be if they decide to lean on the running game a lot more or a lot in the beginning? And Randy said, well, there were games where we had Caleb throw 40 times. And there were games we had Caleb throw 15 times, and he was cool with either one. And that was reinforced when Caleb, again, I can't remember who he said this to, but when he said, I'm not here to wow you. I'm here to win games. That mentality is going to be second to none. It's second to none. Brandon, good morning, Papa. Listen, my guy's about to join us. He was here Wednesday. Want to talk a little about this. I hope he saw it. If not, maybe we'll play it again because we're crazy like that. Hope you saw a little post from the Cincinnati Reporter. We're going to ask him. You can find him on Twitter at Nomad Networking. Guys, just welcome back, my man Nomad. Nomad, what's up, Papa? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, man. Welcome to thank you for having me on the show. And hey, man, shout out to everybody I see in the chat, man.
Yep.
Good to be here this morning.
Did you hear the Cincinnati Reporter? See what he posted on Twitter yesterday?
Yeah. You
did?
Praised,
okay.
He praised on he's pointed out Caleb in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just how the Bears outperformed them.
Yeah. He said the Bears won today. So, I'm happy about that. People understand how I wanted the season to go, but we're here now. And you know what? We got to support Caleb. He's our guy. All right. And if he does well, guess what? This Bears team does well. The bottom line is we want our Bears to get to the Super Bowl, whether it's this year or next year or hell, the next 4 years in a row.
You know
we
what?
Want them there.
That's I'm glad you had me on. Thank you again, Shawn, man, because I want to speak to everybody that watches your show, our shows. I think I'm going to say this to you guys as nicely as I can in a loving way. Quit being an effing chicken little. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. You don't know. We haven't seen a rookie quarterback take a team to the Super Bowl. It's because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it can't happen.
It's impossible until it's done.
That's right. It's impossible until somebody does it. And here's why I think of the whole thing. I think if you listen, I learned more listening to Cole Kmet yesterday than I did listening to the coaches, because he kind of put it out there why Caleb is performing well, and it's hats off to Caleb at the same time. But the way Shane Waldron is structuring this offense, if you notice, they're doing plays to roll him out, get him out of the pocket, just like they did with C.J. Stroud last year. Beginning of the season, there was a lot of moving the pocket, getting him out to cut off half the field on a rollout, layered concepts where he's got one layer in the first layer is in the front, second layer is in the back, third layer is deep. Those kind of concepts make it easy for a young quarterback to really, really get his feet under him. And Caleb being a mobile quarterback as he is, it just makes his game a little bit more, I guess you would say, you can get a little bit more out of him that way, and then make it easy for him at the same time when you cut off the field and limit his options. So he doesn't have 4 to 5 options. He's got like 2 to 3 on one side of the field, and that makes it simple. You either find one of those 2 options or you go out and get a couple yards, throw it out of bounds, one of the 2 things. And so I think I'm just going to say this, man, and we're going to hopefully do a show tonight, man. We're going to talk about this in a little bit more detail, but this defense and the way this team is built, and obviously they're still looking for another edge rusher. So be looking for the news of that happening. I don't know who they're going to sign, if they're going to trade, if they're going to I don't know what they're going to do, but apparently Ryan Poles is out there on the hunt. He's trying to make
Yeah.
something happen. And so I'm one of those people. I don't believe in next year. I believe in time present, right the hell now. And I don't see why nobody can tell me that we shouldn't be rooting to see if we can push this team toward the Super Bowl this year. Why not? I know conventional logic says, oh, they got a rookie quarterback, give them a couple more years. I don't buy that shit, man. I don't buy that. I believe we can do something right the hell now. I really do.
And that's cool, and that's a great thing. I mean, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I personally think, hey, I think they go. I said, here's my thing. I think their ceiling this year is the NFC Championship game. That's the ceiling. But you as well as I, having played the game, and everyone who watches it, got to understand the way that we have no idea how the season's going to turn. What if Patrick Mahomes gets hurt? What if Brock Purdy gets hurt? What if we don't know who's going to get injured and how that affects teams? I talked about at the beginning of my show, all right, because I mentioned the fact that the Bengals lost their running back yesterday in the practice. There's two people get hurt, but one of them was a running back. And I said, I know that firsthand. In 2011, after we went to the Prep Bowl, we were bringing most of our starters back. Studs, quarterback / DB, ended up going to Iowa and then West Virginia after his fifth year. Another running back, if he had the grades, he would have gone D1. He was 6'1", 225, running a 4.6. All right, we had a stud little wide receiver, stud fullback linebacker who ended up going to goodness gracious, in Nebraska, a college in Nebraska. I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, stud. But what happened? Second game of the year, our quarterback, who ended up going to Iowa, blew out his ACL. So we had a stud receiver, a stud running back, stud fullback, stud fullback / linebacker. We had a Ferrari, and we had no one to drive it. So this can happen in the NFL. We've seen it. Ask Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. They know about this. So this could happen. So them getting to the Super Bowl is a possibility. Unlikely, but it is still a viable possibility. I think it's unlikely, but again, what did Kevin Garnett say? Impossible is nothing. Impossible is nothing.
Tell me why you think it's so unlikely, and I'll explain to you why I think it could be.
I know why you say it. I don't anticipate them. And even though my logic says Caleb had access to the playbook, they had extra practices, they had extra games, I still think there's going to be a situation where they make I don't want to say a rookie mistake, but they make a young team who hasn't ascended and been there yet mistake. That's why I think that.
Well, here's what I'm pretty sure is going to happen. Caleb is young. He's new to this NFL structure. He's going to make some mistakes. He's going to have a growth spurt. It's going to be a learning curve. And I think people need to prepare themselves for that. But that's not the end of the world, because you have it's like the season is fractioned out into 3 quarters. 3 thirds, basically. And so the first third of the season, is gonna be your I think you can say quarters. You can break it down into quarters. So the first quarter of the season, he'll have his ups and downs. But when you have a defense as good, and that's the second thing that seems to be a theme throughout the training camp, this defense is legit. When you have a legit defense, a legit punter, you're gonna constantly give yourself a chance to stay in games. And so with a rookie quarterback, which is why, Shawn, here's the thing. We can be apprehensive about how far to go as far as what we think, predict where we think this team can go. But guess who ain't? The damn GM. You don't go out and be in a edge rusher sweepstakes for a 32-year-old if you don't think now is your time to win. You don't do that. That's not a winning strategy for your future if you think there's no chance in hell we're going to knock on some doors and maybe kick down a door or two. If you think you have a chance, then you go out and get in a 32-year-old edge rusher sweepstakes. Other than that, I think we're being apprehensive because we're timid as Bears fans.
PTSD?
Yeah, we're timid. It has made us timid. I'm so glad I haven't subscribed to that. I'm not timid whatsoever. I really believe in this team and what it's capable of doing.
Joe, off the dub, you said in '85 we were singing Super Bowl bound song on MTV by the third game of the season. Yeah, but you have to look at the season before. Remember, we lost to the San Francisco 49ers, who won the Super Bowl that year. All right, we lost to them in the playoffs. All right, that was a tough game. So, and we were ascending. And I guess you could say we're ascending this year. I guess because if you look at the last 6 games, what were we, 7-2 the last 9 games of the year last year?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So I guess you could say that off the dub. Okay. But as I say, the '84 team was ascending, but then again, so was the 2023 team. Remember, in the last 6 games of the year, that was the best defense in the NFL, hands down. And basically, in almost across the board in every category, almost. So,
and
the way they're playing now, the way they're playing today, this year, man, they got that attitude. Like, it's a thing where they know, you know what it seems like, Nomad. I double dog dare you to try that shit. I double dog dare you to try that slant. I double dog dare you to try that post. I'll try them crossing routes. I double dog dare you. That's the attitude it seems that this defense has.
It's the symmetry, the fact that they've been in it for the main components have been in it for at least 2 years now, and 3 years for some of them. Look, you got Jalen, who can shut down a quarter of the field for you pretty much.
Knocking everybody down yesterday.
Yeah, slimming down, narrowing down the field, and giving the defensive coordinator chances to kind of slant the defense towards a certain side of the ball where Jalen isn't. And you can scheme on that when you've got an elite corner that's really taking away a certain portion of the field. Then you can really play on that, Shawn. You know that. The thing is when you have, it's not that we have this good-looking team on paper. It appears to me, and I've been following these reporters heavily during this camp, it appears to me they're putting it together. So it's not just on paper. It seems to me that they're putting it together. They're finding ways to, like using Bayless now, you know what I mean? An extra piece of an extra component that can make your offense more explosive and make it a little bit more dangerous. You got to respect him. And so with the plethora of weapons we have, all those side ends, the receivers, Bayless being weaponized as a weapon now. I think here's what I think, Shawn. I think because teams don't exactly know what's coming at them, there's not enough film. There's no film, in fact, of what this team can present. I think that's going to be at a large advantage for us. We got a defense to back them up. We got a punter that can place punts and get them particular field position. All this stuff, if you think about it schematically, Shawn, it's opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And it's going to come down to taking advantage of them. And I think we have the right pieces in place. Lord knows I wish they'd have been doing that for the last 2 years, but they got them now. No complaining, no looking back. I think we have what we need right now. If they go ahead and decide to add that extra edge rusher to kind of put them over the top, I think we're gonna frighten a lot of teams. I really do.
I don't know. I disagree. I don't think we're going. I think you're wrong when you say we're going to. I think we do. I think we already do frighten a lot of teams, bro. Like they're not stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, think of wherever you played when you're in high school, whether it's college, whether, you know what I mean? You knew what was going on in other teams in your league. You knew what they were doing. Even if you didn't see them play, you heard, oh, snap. People are talking about the Bears. They're talking about the Bears. And they know we got Caleb. Obviously, they know we got Keenan. Obviously, they knew we had DJ. And obviously, they know they saw once we got Caleb, we got Rome. I think teams are scared, are leery of this team. And you put that, you combine that, you pile that on top of this defense was a top defense in the last 6 weeks of the year. And then you add all this with the new offensive coordinator. I think teams are already worried. They're already scared.
You know, Shawn, we temper our expectations as Bears fans. We put those limits and we put those vices on ourselves.
Yeah.
But you know, this front office has done a pretty good job at kind of keeping a lid on what they think. They're not saying too much. But then sometimes look at Cornelius Spalding's comment there. He's saying this is when they talk without talking. When you find out they're in a bidding war for a 32-year-old edge rusher in a season where you have a rookie quarterback, they have in turn told you they think they can win today. And so it's on you as a fan. If you want to believe it's in the next 2-3 years, I don't know whatever your thought process is, that's you. I'm not there. I'm with wherever the coach and the GM thinks that they can do now. And apparently they just told you they can win right now. And so I believe them. If they're out there looking at these dudes every day, not only in live practices they're taking and cutting up film and really breaking down where they think they are saying without saying, we can compete right now today. Don't wait for no next year. Right now, the time is now.
I feel you. I just think they're one season away. I think they're a disappointment away.
I'm knocking on wood, son. I'm just going to tell you right now.
I think they're a disappointment away. And it doesn't have to be. All right. And it could be get off my lawn, Shawn. But all right, like you got to overcome something. Every great team does. All right. Except the Chiefs. They just started Patrick Mahomes, and well, even they didn't win the Super Bowl his first year. So I mean, he won MVP, but you know, they didn't get there his first year. And they had a squad. So I just think something is going to, and it might end up being Green Bay. It might end up being Green Bay.
Knocking on wood again.
You know, but I think next year it's off. Anything that I should say it's on. Everything is going to be by the wayside, and I think they're going to be a buzzsaw. If a disappointing year and disappointing end to the season happens to the Bears this year, dude, get the hell out of the way, because they will come back like a buzzsaw. I think if something, say they get to the NFC Championship game and they lose on a field goal, or lose on a BS call, or lose on a no pass interference, you know what I mean? Like they pulled DJ Moore down and it was 4th down and he could have caught it, but they pulled him down and they don't call it, or some crazy thing like that. I think this team is going to be scarier because
Shawn, can I say something to you?
Yeah.
I think, and what's our motto at the Nomad Network? If you think it, you can see it, and you can manifest it. You are manifesting some BS right now, Shawn. Get that out of there and manifest the right things. Manifest the right things, Shawn. We got to get on them. Come on, no maniacs. I see y'all in there. Y'all get on Shawn. Quit manifesting that, man. That you put all that into it. That stuff don't even exist. But you got it there. I ain't buying it, man. I think I'm hyped about this team, man. And you could probably hear it in my voice. And I looked at the game again last night twice, and just to have some extra stuff to talk about, because a lot of people want to know about some of these guys that are getting these opportunities and what they really look like, who broke down the film and who really stuck out. So the more and more I look at it, the more and more excited I get. And so I'm not manifesting that. I'm going to say that I feel like we can do whatever the next team can, and whatever mishaps happen, you know, that's just part of the process, but I ain't manifesting. Not today.
I think this team is one. It's for me, it's the defense. All right. This team reminds me so much of the Urlacher, Briggs, Tillman, that defense when they went to the Super Bowl, because they knew it. They knew it. They were a little cocky, but I'm okay with that, especially on the defensive side. I'm more than okay with that, because as I said, I double dog dare you to try this. You know what I mean? And the one thing that if I see from this defense, I think I could be swayed to jump on your bandwagon, Nomad.
What's that?
If I see them start taking the ball away more, if I see them make a concerted effort, it might not even work. But if I see a guy punching at the ball, if I see guys ripping at the ball, and it might not work. Dude could hold on with 2 hands, but I need to see someone like pull that arm out, like, oh, I didn't get it this time. But I keep doing it. Guess what? They're going to get something. If I see that, I could possibly swing to that side because now teams know, damn, they're going for the strip. Now, when you think on offense as a ball carrier, you don't want to think. First of all, it's going to stop you from getting extra yards because you're going to secure the ball. Secondly, they're going to get more than they're going to get some, and it's going to set up a nice field for Caleb. So if I see them in these last couple games or when the season starts and they start going after that ball, and like man, you know it. Every time someone threw a pass to Charles Tillman's guy, man, Charles Tillman was like, all right, you might run me over. I'm making this tackle, but I'm punching that ball first. You knew it was coming. Receivers, ball carriers knew. Well, no, they didn't know it was coming because they didn't secure the ball enough. That's what I'm talking about.
You see Plank saying it's coming, Shawn. The more you look at the tape, and he's not wrong. The more you look at the tape, he's definitely on point. You can see the attempts. I'm going into my 5th or 6th time looking at that last game, and you see the attempts. They may not be coming out now, but those balls are going to come out. Those balls are going to come out. They're not.
Yeah, I just want to see it. I'll look at the game again later, and I'll check it out, and I'll see if I see guys ripping it. I don't need to see the ball come out every game, but if I see them do it every time, that means it's going to continue. And you're right, it will come out because there's going to be times where you don't think there's another dude there, and there's another dude there, and boop, pops it out, and man, you believe me, it's happened to me. It's happened to me as a player, and I harped on it as a coach. And there's going to be times where you're ball carrier and you think, oh, I'm going to buy one guy or he's holding me, and bam, here comes somebody else. So I just want to see it. That's all. If I see it, then I think I may saunter slowly, pimp walk over to that side.
You'll see it, Shawn, but you won't. Here's the difference. Peanut was more fanatical about it than any player I've ever seen. In fact, it was times when I watched him play and I used to cringe because he used to do it at the chagrin of getting the tackle sometimes, and it was a important down and distance at times. Most of the time I'm like, hell yeah, get that ball out. But at times it's like you have to know instinctively when to do that. To me, you can't go after that thing every time. Sometimes it's a down in the distance, and you got to be aware of the marker and make sure you get that guy on the ground before he gets to the marker. And then other times, when the down and distance and isn't as important, then you go crazy about it. But you'll see it, and you can tell it's being coached, Shawn. You will definitely see that on film. It's being coached. It's just not popping out right now. Eventually, those balls will come out. And I have no doubt that this team is going to be at the upper echelon, especially getting Kevin Byard. Kevin Byard is a straight ball hawk. He's a straight ball hawk. Those balls are going to come out. They're going to get tip balls. You'll see Gervon Dexter in passing lanes, getting his hands on balls. Those are the things you want, the stuff that you're talking about, Shawn. When you go back and look at that game again, you'll see those things happening, and you're going to be like, oh, yeah, this team is going to be up there in the top. If they're not top 3 to 5 in takeaways this year, that would be probably my biggest surprise this year. I think they're going to be right there. We will get those turnovers.
I think they will. I think if I see more attempts at stripping of the ball, because I think if we don't make the top 5, it'll be because of fumbles. Because I think we'll be up there in interceptions. I really believe we're going to be up there in interceptions like we were last year, especially if you go get a Hassan Reddick, or especially if you go get another edge rusher to pair with Sweat. Yeah, I truly think I believe we're going to be on the top of that interception list again this year. And if we start poking the ball out and ripping the ball out, man, again, all this because who knows where that's going to be. Are they coming out? Are they on a 15 coming out and they throw a 15-yard pass at a 30? All right, and all of a sudden, boop, the ball gets tricked out. Now the offense takes the ball over on the plus 30. That's a whole nother level, man. When you got to go 30 yards for a touchdown as opposed to 70. That's a whole, and you can't continue. If our defense does that consistently, teams can't continue to give offenses short fields because they will pay. And unless you got a phenomenal defense, and sometimes that might not even work. So
we're going to be right there. And I think I can see, just looking at that game, I can see strip sacks coming. The amount of those are going to come up because we got better edge rusher and a better edge rushers. And we have a coach that's being real intentional about those guys really getting off the ball and getting off the ball fast. You can see the ball coming out a whole lot faster than it normally did, and that's just going to be advantageous stuff for the linebackers and the DBs. And so when they're not strip sacks and when they're not sacks, that ball's coming out a little faster than the timing wants it to come out. Those opportunities will be there more and more often. And Shawn, there is, man, dude, I'm trying to find a reason to temper my my enthusiasm right now. I just don't see it, Shawn. I think we're being timid for no good reason other than what King Booker just said, the PTSD from years past. And I'm one of those people that's probably unique in this sense, especially for a podcaster, that doesn't let the year before or what I've seen in the past temper my expectations. I look at the roster we have now. I see the pieces, how it fits together, and I'm watching this stuff play out literally in my head. And then when they get to the preseason games, I'm seeing if the stuff looks the way I expect it to look. And when they have starters in there, it's looking pretty much exactly how I expect it to look. So tampering expectations, miss me with that one. I'm not in that category. I feel good about it.
And look at Plank. This is a great point. I like the fact JJ was left off the 100 list. So do I.
Oh yeah.
So do I.
He's salty.
Oh, he's big time. And he's salty because this is something that's not from old crusty, get off my lawn people, media guys. These are his peers. These are the guys that he plays along with and plays against. And he couldn't make the top 100 and he's second team all pro. Yeah. So I hope he uses that as fuel, because he's already using the fact that he wasn't first team all pro as fuel. And now to add this on, man, I'd love to see him get 5 or 6 or 7 picks this year and with a couple house calls in there. No, because didn't he have 2 house calls last year? And then he dropped, I think, 2 more. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 house call.
1 house, just the one? I know he must have dropped. He dropped 2.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. And I'm thinking money. You're dropping money, Papa. You're dropping money.
Hey, Shawn, I know how DBs think, and I know they take every little, and this is a big slight. This is not a small slight. When it comes from your peers. I'll tell you exactly I'll give you a perfect example of what happened with me. My junior year, and my coaches to this day, man, I seen one of them probably 2-3 years ago, and I was just like, man, you're not going to tell me y'all didn't have a rigged election when y'all decided who was going to be a captain. Because it was supposed to be, we all literally put names into a hat. And I know my name would have came up as a captain, but it did not come up. And he smiled at me. He's like, we knew it was going to inspire you. And that's exactly what it did. Every time I made a play, whether I got a tip ball, I got a PBU, or whether I smoked somebody on the sidelines where the bench is, I got up saying, who is your captain? Who is your captain? Captain what? I was pissed off the entire season, and I played like it. And so I know how Jalen feels right now. He's taking everything as a slight. He's out there to show that, in most situations, these guys get their money, and that level of play comes down a notch. No, he knows it's a lot of fruit left on that tree. And he's going out there to pick them. He wants to go out there and prove to every elite receiver that is on his schedule, I'm going to shut him down this week. Next week, I'm shutting him down and him down. Before the end of this season comes, by the time the end of this season hits, they're going to say Jalen Johnson, if not, is the best player, the best corner in the league. If not, he's in the top echelon of them. He's determined to make them say that. And I love that kind of spirit.
I do too. And I'm anxious to see him do it. Because there's one thing, like, it's easy to say, but you hear it in his voice. And it's not what he says, it's how he says it. And you look in his eyes, and he is driven. He is determined to make people pay. Because some people talk a lot of ish and like, I want to do this, I want to do this. No. He seems like he's one of those people. And we all know people, when they say something, they're going to do it. You know what I mean? And they're going to die trying. And Jalen, the sound of his voice the tone of his voice, and the look in his eye, that slight from his peers, that one hurt him. And now he's gonna take that out on everybody else.
Yeah, that definitely would have got to me. That definitely would have been a feather in my cap. I'd have been carrying that chip on my shoulder. And you know what's good about it is his confidence. I'm looking at interviews. He had one with Richard Sherman. You check that out, man. If you get
I did. I saw that one. Yeah, I saw last night.
So every time I watch him do an interview, confidence is everything for a cornerback.
Yep.
Because you're so heavily involved in whether the game goes one way or the other, because the explosive plays are going to happen with you involved in it most of the time. And so your confidence level has to be at 12 out of 10 all the time. And I'm looking at this cat, man, he's at 20. His confidence is like, it's like a cologne. It's like a scent. That stuff is oozing through him, through the TV, the computer screen, wherever device I'm using to watch and listen to him talk. His confidence is oozing out of his pores. And that is so important for a cornerback. He's going to have not only a Pro Bowl season, I think he's going to get, and this is knocking on wood, he's going to stay healthy. He's going to add a dynamic to a Bears defense we haven't seen. I can't say that Peanut Tillman was ever a shutdown corner. I think he's pretty good at locking guys up, but we haven't had what we consider elite cornerback status on this team. And I don't know how long, I don't know if we ever had one that you could say, hey, we got one of the top 2 or 3 cornerbacks on the Chicago Bears in the league. I don't know if we've ever had that, but we're on the precipice of having that with Jalen Johnson right now.
Yeah, I think Kyle Fuller was on the trajectory. He was pretty close.
That's
before
true.
before he left, but yeah, we haven't had very many great corners, and I think Jalen is towing that line of being a great corner, and could be the best corner we've had as a Chicago Bear, which is a pretty big statement, So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So what do you give me your thoughts on Nasty Nate? All right, Nate Davis. All right, he's back in pads. He's saying he's taking it day by day. I forgot, and I was trying to find it, and I didn't get a chance to find the question where they asked him, and then that's where he said, "I'm just taking it day by day." Like, why don't you just say, "Hey, are you concerned that you're not in there, that you're going to lose your job?" You know what I mean? Like, that's just a point blank question where if he deviates, then he's concerned. Like, it's literally like yes or no. Are you worried about losing your job because you ain't been out there?
I know he doesn't think I don't think he has to be worried. I know Ryan Bates has played well over there. I know some of these other guys have played well over there. Listen, guys.
You think there's 30 million reasons why he's going to be there?
The plan has always been for Ryan Bates to be the starting center. Injuries and Nate Davis has prevented that from being the real. We'd have a different conversation going on if Nate Davis had been available the entire camp. Ryan Bates would have been getting most of the snaps at center, and Nate Davis would have been he's going to be our starter. He's going to be our starter. The thing is, for me, I think we on the outside, it's easy for us to find something that, hey, no, just hammering, just going off about stuff, not knowing, man. Like I understand what he was going through last year. Just because it's a year gone by doesn't mean that you're not still struggling with the loss of your mom. And who knows how bad the tissue injury is, soft tissue injury is. We don't know, because we sit out on the outside, and it's easy for us to sit in our chairs and have a criticism about this or that. I'm just backing off of that and just saying, let them deal with it. I don't know what's really going on with Nate Davis. I've seen guys like Nate Davis at this point in their career lose interest and lose the fire and desire for playing. That's what I was worried about more than anything. Is he losing his fire for playing this game? And if he's losing it, then he needs to be realistic with himself and say whether or not he's made enough money. He can sit down, But I don't know if he's there yet. And I got a funny inclination that he's somewhere in that category trying to figure out, does he have the zest still to do this? And by by the looks of it, he's pushing himself through some stuff right now. In my opinion, that's just what I see.
Cornelius Squall said the way Matt Pryor played, I'm not surprised that Nate Davis was back in the lineup. Yeah, you get pressure, man. You get pressure from, and he could be, like off the Dubs saying here, he's trying to pull that I'm a veteran, I know what I'm doing angle. Let me take my time this preseason, but we as Bear fans, we understand that the offensive line is a point of contention. We want to make sure it's tough or it's solid because of we have a young quarterback who's a rookie quarterback who's our franchise quarterback. We have tons of weapons. We just need him to be upright to get the ball to these weapons. So, and we've had issues with the offensive line back since all the way back probably till Cutler when they had this stud offensive line with Garza and Tate and those guys. So I get it, but I want to see that offensive line intact. I want to see that offensive line, the starting five, play well. Because if they were able to lined up and they play well for these last two preseason games, I'll be a lot more confident going into the year. A lot more confident because I know they can run the ball. We've run the ball in the preseason games. If we can run the ball these last two preseason games, it's going to open up so many things for Caleb. And why do you think Caleb has been able to hit some of these downfield throws? Because we've been running the ball. On that dart, that 25-yard pass to Kmet, that was a stretch. Why? Why did they go crazy? Because they saw Khalil Herbert, went around to the end to that same side earlier in the game. Same play. They just pulled it this time, and Caleb booted. And that's what happens when you run the ball. That as a defensive player, when you run the ball, the old saying, you have to earn the right to stop to rush the passer. You got to go every fake when they're gashing you, and that's what opened up that thing for Cole Kmet. So this offensive line is paramount for us, man. And I want to see that, and I hope Nate Davis understands it, and I hope everybody else gets healthy because I'd love to see them. Even if they only play 2 or 3 series or 1 quarter, I want to see that starting offensive line for that whole time that they're out there. And I'll be a lot happier. I'll be a lot more at ease if I see all them jokers there at once.
Shawn, I'll tell you what gives me confidence. And I watch probably player interviews more than damn near as much as I watch game film because I could get indicators at times.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this one time in particular, they asked, same stuff was going on about this time last year. And they got, what's his name? Number 65 from last year. What's his name? Come on now. Cody Whitehair.
Whitehair. Yeah.
So they asked him a straight up question. It's like, how long do you think realistically it takes for you guys to get symmetry after guys have missed, a certain amount of time to start of it? And he said without blinking, like if he'd had hesitation and said, had to really think about it, I'd be like, oh, he just blowing smoke. No, he said without hesitation, he said just about 2 weeks. That's it. That's all we need. And I believe him. Why? Because he's a veteran offensive lineman that didn't take a whole lot of time to answer that. He knew instinctively exactly how long it takes for everybody to get on point and be on cue and be able to execute at a high level. He said 2 weeks. That's really all we need. Because we spend a lot of time, off the field and, in rooms and meeting rooms and doing all the stuff that people don't get to see and know how to communicate with each other. He said exactly 2 weeks. And so that's why I don't worry about this offensive line. I think Nate Davis will be in there in these next coming weeks before the season starts, and I think everything will be fine.
And guys, we're joined by Nomad from the Nomad Network, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. You know what? I think you're right. I think now that I think about it, because like a lot of my good offensive lines were veterans, and you're able to, especially if you've been around the block, they're not right. You're no longer a rookie, but Tevinjenkins has been around the block for a while. All right. The two guys that they traded for, Bates and Shelton, they've been around the block for a while. Braxton Jones is going into his 3rd season now. Nate Davis. So you understand, it's a lot easier because you know the basics. You know how to get by. Like if you need to, you know what I mean? Like there's as a veteran, you're able to get up to speed a lot quicker with a new system, or or just with new teammates than you are with other people. Because like you communicate a lot more as a veteran because you've been through those wars. Because I'm sure someone communicated a lot with you when you're a rookie. It's like, hey, I got this guy. When we said this situation, if he's I'll stay a little longer. I'll dip my shoulder. I'll give you a hand here till you take over. All right, let's try it. So I think I can buy that. And but that's why I say, Nomad, if you can give me those guys this week and next week, man, I'll have so much more confidence going in because now I've seen them play. I see, oh, they're ready to go. They're ready to go, which is why to me that Hall of Fame game was so important to get extra reps, and they didn't do it. So we'll see.
Shawn, you know as well as I know. I'm not saying that the offensive line doesn't have to spend time studying and getting stuff right, but probably the room with the least, especially when you got guys that's been around and kind of know there's nothing new under the sun with them. And so if, let's just say, Flus decided to extract the coach out of that room and decided, this week you guys are going to get ready. They already know the alignments, the slides, who slides where and when, what the call is, the protections. They know all that stuff. And so if he extracted the coach out of that room, the veteran in that room, meaningly probably the center or Tevin, could get that room together and they can go out there and perform at a high level with or without a coach. That's the benefit of having a few veterans in your room that's seen it all, done it all. And so I believe it absolutely 110% because my goofy ass has been through going peeping in linemen's rooms and joking around and messing around when I ain't supposed to be in there. They have to kick me out. I've been in there and I see how they operate. And this, Shawn. Once they know the protections, the pass pros, they know the calls, when to slide, when to pick up an extra guy, when the center is gonna call out who he's gonna pick up, the Mike linebacker, all that stuff. Once they know all that, everything else is pretty much gravy. Are you on the same page with me to my left? Are you on the same page with me to my right? And that's it. Football is football after that, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, because there's only so many protections that you have, and what you do is you go through, their what you see on film, right? They're like this blitz, they'll do this blitz, they'll do this blitz, all right, and then you walk through them. Because I remember we used to, as a running back, especially at Holy Cross, we were in one back. We ran to run and shoot back then. So, man, we had to, we were in the pass pro, so we were with the linemen all the time. All right, in meetings, in practice, in indie time, and like, okay, here, if this comes, all right, well, you get the mic backer. I'm fanning this way, we're fanning this way, the mic's yours. Okay, and we had to know all that. So, yeah, it's
Shawn, what the biggest, to me, I think the biggest scheme up, and this does take time, is when you have to pass off, like Tevin's getting on a guy and he's got to pass it off to Braxton. It takes a few times
on a twist or stunt. Yeah.
You gotta get that right. If they did that in the game and the pass off didn't have symmetry to it, they're gonna be talking about that on the way back to the huddle. Come on, man. You gotta know that
I gotta go shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, we gotta get shoulder to shoulder. I can't let go, or you can't let go of your guy if our shoulders aren't touching, because then that leaves a crease. Because I remember Coach Dan DeRazio, when I was at Holy Cross, man, he was livid. I mean, he was adamant about that. Like, unless you touch shoulder to shoulder, you're not passing the dude off. Do not, because it leaves a crease. And if that dude, and all that dude needs is a crease, because when you pass him off and you're waiting for the other dude, and the other dude still is not ready, there's a crease. He's going right to the quarterback. I remember that in meetings all the time. Yeah. And he'd have to go boom. And we watched it in class. Look, your shoulder pads aren't touching. And he's like, I can't imitate his voice. Your shoulder pads ain't touching. They ain't touching. Why are you switching? Why are you letting them go?
But that little stuff, it sounds simple, but that makes or break the execution of a play.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
Simple stuff just like that. If the timing ain't right, the symmetry ain't right between those two guys, and they're going to run, I'd just say out of 100% of their plays, they're going to gain probably 30, 40%, especially if a team thinks that they have an advantage at running that game, that twist, that stunt. They see if it's semi working, they're going to keep throwing that at them. So, those little things take a little bit of time to make sure you got symmetry. Just make sure they're queued up on the same thing and they're in the same wavelength as far as how they're thinking about how to go about that technique wise.
So what do you think before we let you go, man? We're coming up on the end of the show, but what do you think? How do you think this team's going to play? Cincinnati's not playing their starters. We are playing our starters. Do you anticipate this team really coming out and you beat them in practice? All right. Do you really coming out? Do you really expect the team to come out and this first team and really put their foot on their throats? Because first of all, you're not the starters. All right. Second of all, we whooped your ass first time. We want to let you know that wasn't a joke. It wasn't a fluke. What do you expect from this team, from this Bears team tomorrow? I keep thinking Sunday. Tomorrow, when they meet at 12 o'clock noon with the Bears ones going against predominantly Cincy's twos.
Take away some of the reporters reporting coming out of some of the camp practices and some of the some of the panicking, when the offense isn't looking so good out there. And, you got fumbles, you got guys jumping offside, the typical stuff you see in a install portion of camp, the basic initial install parts of camp, and a rookie quarterback is never running out of this pro structure. All the stuff you can imagine was happening out there, and they were panicking. They had the fan base panicking, and by the time they get out there in the preseason, once the game starts, they look pretty clean. So that's consistently, you've seen that 2 times in a row. A lot of panicking from the press, whole lot of clean from when it got to a game. And so I expect them to stack that. And I expect them, this has been a pretty good damn camp. I think everybody can agree with that. It's a really good looking camp. They're getting everything they want out of it. They've remained relatively healthy, knock on wood. And I think they're stacking. And I think they're building momentum into the regular season. Yeah, I think they're going to run those mother efforts right on over too. I think they're going to go out there and they're going to perform well offensively and defensively. And we're going to be back here talking the same stuff. Now, I think the intensity of what people believe the Bears can do this year, I think that's going to be a locomotive. They ain't got no brakes on it by the time this game is over.
I hope so. Hey, Nomad, great stuff, Papa. I appreciate it. Thanks for hopping on, man. We will talk soon. But let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Of course, you can find us at the Nomad Network on YouTube. You can, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, man. We're about to give y'all some hell of a content. You can also find me at Twitter at Nomad Networking, man. And I'm mildly right now, so I've been waiting. I've been kind of chilling the whole off season. I'm there and then I'm not there, but you're gonna hear my damn mouth often because I really feel good about this team. And I'm telling you, it's a lot to look forward to. This is going to be an exciting season. I just want to see the Bears fans get really, really excited because I believe 100%, my instincts tell me 100%, this is when you want to be a Bears fan. This is exactly when you want to be a Bears fan. The front office has done its due diligence, has gotten the pieces that we need to go out there and perform and make sure we're a threat to every single team in the NFL this year. I think this is a locomotive with no brakes, and it's an unfamiliar one. So they won't have a whole lot to reference when it comes to how is this team going to attack you. And so that being said, man, I want to thank you guys for in the chat, man, for being so involved in it. And thank you, Shawn, for having me on, man. I really appreciate you.
Man, we love talking football with you, dog. I appreciate it, man. We'll be in touch soon. You have a good weekend, all right?
All right, man. I'm going to holler at you soon.
Bet. All right. Guys, 2 hours is coming and going. I want to thank my guy Nomad for coming on talking Bears with me. I'm excited about it. We got to bounce. Everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago. Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Clarence Counselor, social media, my co-host, Adam Sensor Maya. Guys, have a phenomenal weekend from all of us here at Sports Zone Chicago. No Maniacs, Sports Zoners. Have a phenomenal weekend. It's going to be beautiful today. Get out there. It's going to be 85 today. Get out there and enjoy the day. Spend time with your friends and loved ones. Let your loved ones know you love them. All right, guys. I am out of here. Phenomenal weekend. This show will be replayed at 6 p.m. tonight. 12:15, Lakina and Sydney with Second City Sports. And then tomorrow morning, the Smoke Fellows is going to be on. So make sure you get your fix of Sports Zone Chicago. All right. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Guys, you have a phenomenal weekend because I am out.